Okay, I'm going to review. This is part 4 of your introductory videos. So we're going to do a little review. So if we go to our home page, that's the same. If I click here, it's the same. This is the same. Modules is the same down here. All three are going to go to the same place. You have an option when you set this course up, when I set this course up, to make the home page something different. I prefer that you come here. So these are our weeks, and we have 5 weeks, plus we have the learning module, which we went over. So let's look at the learning module one more time. How to succeed in this course. Review these first. You have to mark these as done, so you have to have looked at them. Okay, so you have to watch these videos. You're going to look at the syllabus. You're going to mark as done the statement of professionalism, how to set notifications, because you will do that. And I sent an announcement out already, so you should have gotten it. If you haven't, then change your notification settings. If you get into a grade challenge, it's per assignment. It isn't for the whole course. It's per assignment. And you're going to want to explain to me how I did not grade to the criteria of the work, okay? So if the assignment says examine an Egyptian pyramid, for example, and you put in something that is not Egyptian and is not a pyramid, then you're not going to get credit for it. Even though you might have worked hard, you did it incorrectly, so you're not going to get a good grade. So a lot of students are like, well, I worked hard, you know, I should get a better grade for this. But you have to show me how you achieved what the assignment's asking you to do. So if, for instance, you did use an Egyptian pyramid reference and somehow I missed it, then you're going to explain that to me. Okay, polite tone always. All right, so let's go back to our home page. A lot of stuff here. This is going to take a while. I wouldn't suggest doing all this in the first week, but the ones that Mark done, do those and then go back to these other ones. If you're confused on how to learn online, click on this. This gives you Canvas. This is the LMS, the learning system that we're in. Canvas is called Canvas. This is what, you know, the look of the course. So you can click on that. How to upload an assignment on Canvas, because you do have some uploads. Art terms online described. And if you go here, this is kind of nice. Let's make sure it's working. This flashcard, it's going to explain all these different art terms. Now, this isn't all the elements and principles in that order, but it does include them, if that makes sense. If you go here, let's go to previous. I'm going to have to go next. If you go here, it's going to include some YouTube links. What I would do is watch this first one for sure, okay? That's going to explain the elements of art right there. The other thing we're going to look at right now is a chapter quiz. You will have 2 attempts to do this quiz, and you're going to choose a multiple choice answer. You have 2 chances here. Then you're going to hit submit quiz down here, okay? So I'm not going to do it right now, but it'll give you all these questions one at a time on this page, and then you'll look for, you know, this is basically an open book course if you think of it that way. You can look for the answer in the book. Hopefully you've studied enough and you understand what these concepts are about. If not, you have, you know, the book to go back to. Okay, so let's look at a typical week. Week 1. See how this complete all items means that you have to mark done a few things. So you're going to introduce yourself. That's a discussion. That's that icon. This is a page icon. That's a discussion icon. It's not going to give it to me, is it? This is going to be just an assignment, which is actually a quiz. But the chapter quizzes are going to have this little rocket icon. These are files. So these are the audio videos. Those are the regular videos. Usually they're in 2 parts. I did them this way because they load a little bit better. If you give it a second, it'll load and then you can scroll through it. It's coming. There we go. So you can scroll, and Chrome drives me crazy. So then you can go down and go back through. So these are really nice because you can go where you want to go in the imagery and in the PowerPoint. You don't have to use my voiceovers at all if you don't wish to. Okay, and let's see what else we have. Chapter 2, another heading here. So if we had a heading for Chapter 1, Exploring Art and Art Making, Language and Art of Architecture. Chapter 2 is quite long, so I have 8 parts, 8 videos. They're quite long. Then you have 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3 for Chapter 2. Chapter 7, I think, has 4 parts. And again, another quiz. And you'll see you have 2 attempts, 10 points. It's a quiz. The answers are shuffled. There's no time limit. Some instructors do that. I don't do it. Then the correct answers are going to show to you the day after it's due. So it's due on the 6th. It's due here. It's available the first day of class on the 3rd, and it closes when it's due. Go to our next one. We talked about this. So email me with questions. Make sure you look through the whole course, navigate through. Make sure you understand what's going on in terms of the announcements, discussions, grades. There's a thing on plagiarism. I should show you that before I go. On here, it's going to explain, and I didn't do one of these this time. So if you go down here, see when we go to grades, remember how we did that in I think the second video? And I'm in the student view. I cut and pasted completely, so I got 100% plagiarism on this chapter 3 essay. So if I click on that, it's going to tell me what I did wrong in terms of cutting and pasting, and I didn't use quotation. You're only allowed to use 1 line of quotation per essay. I don't want to cut and paste from the book or somewhere else. Wikipedia is even worse about like how you're demonstrating your knowledge by cutting and pasting. You have to use your own words. So please do that. Read this. Patch writing is another thing that is more common these days, where students will take, there's a nice link here, students will take parts of the book and just rearrange it. So that's still plagiarizing, okay? Paraphrasing is kind of okay in some ways, but I'm just going to say try not to do it at all. So this explains paraphrasing and patch writing down here. You can look through that at your leisure, but make sure you understand what plagiarism is. And I get this a lot. I use the book. That does not mean cutting and pasting or using a whole sentence or even a phrase, even like 4 or 5 words. Some schools have a 4 words in a row limit. I find that a little bit restrictive because we will say things like this and that, you know, like the connecting conjunctive parts of speech. It doesn't make total sense to me, but you can't just grab from other sources. So you'll get a 0 for the essay if it's heavy, if it's over 20%. If it's really egregious, you'll get a 0 for the entire midterm or final. Okay, so it really depends on the severity. So I do report serious cases. Make sure you're not that person. This is how right here to check Turnitin, which is the plagiarism software. All right. Well, good luck with everything. You know, it's a really fun course. It's useful to have in the world. And I just want you to know how I do things. I'll try to post another video maybe halfway through or do a conference Zoom so you guys get a sense of some of the things with the course that you may have questions with. You can interact with me. But email me about any questions. Ian Hunter's around too. You can ask him. But just communicate as often as you like. All right. See you soon.